It's alright. I'm going to press record anyway. It's fine, and then we can join us. But it's fine. But the thing is, we can carry on, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just be like, all right, we've lost Lee. He's gone walkies.
Is that what he's calling himself, Lee?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, that's what his parents named him.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. So I think he's going to stick with Lee on this one.
That reminds me of the movie Blood and Bone. It goes, Bone. It's his name because that's what his parents named him. After he says, you know that thing that you say every time he hits, he breaks? Don't say that no more. And then he comes out with that quality. Right, let me do a group chat.
What's his name? John Bond. What's his?
No, it's Michael J. White movie from.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, but what's his name in the thing? Is it John?
In the thing, I don't know the characters. I just know him as Bone. Where there, Amrabat's joined. Hello, mate. What's happening? Why you joined?
Oh shit! What's wrong with the laptop, man? Has it died?
Wait, that's your laptop? I thought it was a curtain.
That is a curtain. Like the laptop's underneath the curtain, or he's thrown it out the window. I don't know what's
going on. I was literally thinking, like, that's not the screen, surely not.
See, what's going on? It's not in the background. What's that? Is that Times Square? What is that?
What's beeping through your roof, bro?
That's true, actually.
Okay.
So what's happening with the laptop, Lee? Is it dying on you? I'm just logging back into emails now.
Out of curiosity, when was it last updated?
Skype link, and to be fair, bro, it should work. I don't know why it wouldn't. And I don't like hearing myself. Can you turn me down, Rick?
Okay, you can hear yourself. I don't know how to mute you on Skype.
You mad bastard. Right, we're going to get this on at some point. I think we are.
Yeah, well, hopefully now, but where is he?
Where's he at? Where's he gone now? Have we just cancelled his whole thing now?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, wait, because it says 3 of 3.
2 of 3.
Yeah,
I've got 2 of 3 on mine. I don't have 3 of 3.
I've got 2 of 3 as well, and I've called him.
I'm calling him as well.
Give him a call, lad.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there we go.
He is, fresh from Old Trafford.
Straight from that win. Lee, can you hear us all right, bro?
Yeah, fine, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. Love it. Right, so we are recording. That's good. Rick, huh? This is good. This is what it's all about, man.
We're back.
We are back with Amrabat. Yes.
My man is not coming on again.
Never again. This is the end now. This is the end.
All invitations.
I appreciate the beard and got Todd Martin's girdle or something.
You got called too?
You've got the Tash and everything, which is brilliant.
Shave the beard. Nah, bro, it suits you. You look good. You look good.
Yeah, no, the beard is good, man. Like, you know what I mean? If you heard the last podcast, we've been talking about bald heads and beards, so, you know, that's the way to go, really.
Yeah.
Should we do it, Rick? Should we do like a quick intro and then get straight on to it?
Yeah, get us in. Introduce Lee as well. Let's get in. Yeah, just do it. Just do it.
All right, just do it, man. All right, just do it. Got no knees. All right, shit. I'm nervous now. Fuck, Lee, don't look at me. Let's say this. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's look at your ceiling again.
Yeah, let me look at the skyline. Bro, that's sick. What's that? Is that Times Square? Tell me. All right, we're going to get straight into it. Yeah. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Tash, my guys, with your boys, Larry and Ricky. And tonight we've got a special guest coming from the Northwest. He's supporting us.
Northwest?
Obviously not.
Oh, right.
Bro, let me finish my
Sorry,
thing.
Bro. Let me finish my thing,
man. I'm trying to finish my thing. Come on. All right. He's the guy who supports Liverpool. All right.
He's here. Not that special.
Lee, how you doing? Welcome to the episode. Welcome to the podcast. Glad to have you here. What's going on, man?
I'm good. How are you too?
Very well. I was better. I was trying to like nail it with the intro, but then my guy just wants to, you know what I mean? It's
hog the limelight, yeah.
Hog it. He finds the limelight and then he hogs it. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say.
I'm in the dark over here, that's all. Kind of
Rick, we can see you though. We can see you. You know what I mean? You're acting like a mysterious guy. Anyways, obviously fresh from another weekend of sport, of football. And, you know, I think, Rick, because obviously we've got a guest, I think we should probably start off with maybe the Liverpool match because it is still fresh in our minds. It's only fair, right? It's only fair. So
that's the kind of hospitality we provide.
Yo, we don't charge for that either on the first podcast.
All for free.
Just not on the first podcast, and then afterwards, unfortunately, it is what it is.
We'll have to have a chat.
But Lee, obviously, not really the result that you guys were looking for today. But considering how the match sort of turned out, first of all, are you happy with that result from Liverpool today, away from home?
Obviously, going to Brighton's a tough place to go now, so we'd have probably took a draw, especially after the first 30 minutes because we started absolutely terribly. But once you go 2-1 up at half time, you want to hold on and take the win there, like.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously, we discussed this on previous episodes about Liverpool, and they just love conceding nowadays. They went from, maybe a few years ago, they went from a team who obviously they were very solid in defence. They had arguably the best defender in the league. Weren't shipping that many goals, but in the last 2 seasons, and especially the beginning of this season, it's just sort of turned around in a way, hasn't it? Like, what is that? Is that just Van Dijk getting old? They're not joining up at the back. What do you think? I mean, as a Liverpool fan, you obviously pay a lot more attention than we do. So,
yeah, you are right in what you're saying. The defence is an absolute shambles at the minute. Well, it has been all season. It's conceding sloppy goals. Both goals today were errors of our own doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. He's obviously Van Dijk, like you say, is probably one of the best in the world at one point, but I don't know. He's just fell off. Obviously, it's not just him to blame. Like they've all been the same. Really, none of them have been consistently good. Even the likes of Andy Robertson.
Yeah,
we could always rely on him, but he was at fault for our second goal today, I think. So
I think with Robertson, I mean, Rick, do you want to jump in here, because I know your feelings about Van Dijk, and do you want to enlighten us with some VD talk, please? I mean,
there's a bit of knowledge on VD.
Yeah, Van Dijk, not venereal disease.
No,
yeah. All right, good. Just
none of those. Now, to be fair, I agree with what he's saying. It's not just as him. It's obviously clear to see. It is Robbo, it is Gomez, it is Trent, predominantly the whole back line. But for me, I go back to that 150 that came in for Salah. You would have took that when he's a 31-year-old player to try and get that reinforcement. Now, City is successful for one or two reasons. One, Pep Guardiola, arguably one of the greatest. You can make your own arguments for that. But second, they seem to invest heavy each year. Who's the boy that played left back tonight? 100 million? Playing out of position, playing out left back, the young Croatian. Jack
Guardiola, isn't it?
Yeah, he came in just there, right? Ake, Akanji, John Stones is there. He let go of Laporte. He worked, it didn't work. He let go, brought somebody else in. But okay, again, different owners. Maybe Klopp is working with crumbs in terms of when it comes to what's the word I'm looking for? Transfer window fees and maybe budget. Sorry, there's a better word, transfer budget. But VVD is still a quality defender. You can see that on him. And I've always said it in the past, he's more of a sweeper defender because on one-on-one sometimes he can come short. But I chat shit about him. But to be fair, I'd love to have him on my team. If he was wearing blue, he'd be quality. But I think your whole back line has been awful. Alisson is the only thing at the back that is kind of keeping the goals out.
Do agree, yeah. To be fair, defensively today, our best defensive player. You're probably laughing.
You probably struggled to hear
a great game against me.
Sorry, are you able to say it again, Paul? It's just disconnected. For the listeners, we're trying something new. We've changed the platform for this one time only. We're going to come back to the.
We've just added one guest. We've just added one guest, and it's already screwed up. No more guests. No more guests from now on.
It's not you, Paul. It's not you.
No more guests from now on. All right, that's it. We've not
repeat what you said. Repeat what you said.
Saying about the defence today. Funnily enough, Trent was probably our best defensive player. He kept Mitoma quiet for, most of the game, really. And then he got subbed off on 80 minutes and Joe Gomez came on and had an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, yes. I didn't watch the game, by the way. Like, full disclosure, I didn't watch the game. I was out with a family because, work on. We got jobs and shit, so the weekend is for the family. But I try to make time for the Arsenal City. But yeah, I caught the final 10 minutes and they said Joe Gomez came on and he just looked a liability.
Yeah.
The moment he joined, he was just a liability. And it is funny. When you say it is funny to say, it is funny to hear Trent is the best defender.
Well, I mean, look, obviously we've had those discussions before, and I think that the fact that Trent's role has kind of changed as well. He's not really in that position anymore. But you're right. As soon as Gomez came on, Mitoma just made him look foolish, and to the point where obviously even a few minutes later he got a yellow card as well. So it's very, very sort of rash defender, if you ask me about Joe Gomez, and the fact that obviously you had Matip on and then you had Konate on and then he came off. it just, I don't know. There's no real confidence being shown to the back line, and it doesn't matter who it is. Literally, that's like 3 of your 4 back line that's been subbed off, and that's very rare. And for Liverpool, it never used to happen because that was it. You had the players that they were the stable, your stable defenders.
I think another thing as well, a lot of questions again asked of Liverpool defence, where in the past, especially the year you won the league and the Champions League, or went very close that year with City, but I think you won the Champions League instead of the league, where City beat you by a point, was your defence started with the front 3. You are no longer pressing the way that you did with the Mane, Firmino and Salah, and that's when it gave you half the time you won the ball by the midfielders. Once the ball got into Hendo, Fabinho, whoever else was in your midfield, Milner, etc., that's it. That you were done. Van Dijk looked pretty, so did your Matip or your Konate, although Konate might not have been there that year. But yeah, you had a lot of players who just looked really good because you were winning the ball so high up front. That seems to have changed. More teams are kind of beating your press. So yeah, but so what do you think needs to change now then to kind of get back to those heights? In your opinion, as a Liverpool fan, what do you think? What would you change, or what would you like to see different?
Well, with the front 3 that we had today, Salah, Núñez, and Diaz, they'll press all game at a high pace, all 3 of them. But then behind them, it's still not great. You've got Szoboszlai in there playing the attacking midfield role, which is great. He's very good signing, and he will do the pressing. But then after that, you've got McAllister playing completely out of position. He looks out of his depth in that defensive midfield role. And then today we started with Harvey Elliott, and he had a couple of nice little bits, but he doesn't really seem to have the legs to do the pressing that we've known over the last maybe like 3 or 4 seasons.
I think with Harvey Elliott, I watched him midweek, and I genuinely thought he was really good. I thought he was probably your best midfielder on that day. But you're right, Szoboszlai, you can only do so much. You've got the three pressing at the front, but then, like you said, behind, because McAllister, especially today, it seemed like the occasion got to him. And I think, Rick, you mentioned this on the last pod, that, McAllister, this could affect him. And it did. It did. He wasn't himself, and, some rash sort of decisions that he was making. But yeah, I think that your midfield, for a moment in the last couple of weeks, they sort of clicked with the Szoboszlais and McAllisters. But then it doesn't seem very consistent, and that has obviously been a major problem. Because again, beforehand, when you won the league, you won the Champions League, your midfield, you'd had that midfield for a long time. They'd worked together for a long time. So it's a bit obviously unfair for anyone watching, or for Liverpool fans to be like, oh, I can't believe they haven't hit the ground running. Because let's face it, they're still newish players. Darwin Núñez, the second season with Liverpool?
Yeah.
Diaz, second season? So again, when you actually look at it, like at the bigger picture, they haven't played together that long to create that sort of partnership. Salah and Mane, they were together for quite a bit when they built it. They never hit the ground running on the first season together, but gradually they realized, oh wait, we've got pace. We can take on players, and again, that's what they did. Like Rick said, they attacked, they defended from the front.
Another thing, though, isn't it? The midfield, like you said, those players have had a season or 2, or this is second season, but the midfield is a brand new midfield. That trio in midfield has only been put together this summer. Szoboszlai, McAllister, Endo, or the other lad that played today, the Dutch lad that you got from the German league. What's his name, sorry?
Brian Gravenberch.
Yeah, he plays.
Yeah.
So,
He's a good player.
One thing I wanted to ask you, are you guys playing with the three midfield? Are they more of a flying V, so like a Szoboszlai as a 10 role, or is it more of a sitting V with a McAllister as a CDM, and then the other 2 boys either side, like a Szoboszlai and an Endo, or not an Endo, sorry, what's his name? Harvey Elliott, because Hendo's left.
So yeah, McAllister is sort of the defensive midfielder, and then we had Szoboszlai and Harvey Elliott in front of him, but sort of side by side.
Yeah, so like a V-shaped sort of thing, side by side here and the other side. Yeah. And that's the thing, that's going to take time. I've seen it with my team. Obviously, when one player presses, you need to press as a unit. I saw it today with the moments with Arsenal where it was easy to beat the press, same for City. All the teams, if you're going to press, you need to press the way Liverpool did in that season of, 17, 18, 19, especially the season where you won the league as well when it was COVID. And the season before COVID, I think that was your best season. You got piped to the league, but that's the time when the 3 three top boys would press, and then a Hendo and the next player in midfield would press. Your your left back and right back would push right up onto the left winger and right winger. So effectively, you went man for man. You pressing, but you went man for man, and you just suffocated teams out to the point you got the ball. And the only way for teams to breathe was to concede a goal or corner or kick the ball out. Now that's going to change. Is it sustainable to do that year in, year out? Probably not, because you need certain types of players who are going to come in and gel into that team. Klopp is the guy to do it for me. If anybody's going to do it, it'll be Klopp. But the guys that you have bought, and McAllister is not known for a runner in midfield. He's not really an engine. I know he did it in the World Cup, but yeah, I don't know how you boys feel, but for me, I think it's going to be tough to kind of get back to those heights of pressing, because that was your Arsenal. Pressing was that's what suffocated teams.
Yeah, I think. Real quick, I was going to say with that. I think if they accepted that sort of money for Salah, I think that could have been what they would have rebuilt on, rather than because again, even though they've got good players in Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, they haven't proven themselves in any major leagues in terms of they haven't really done much for them to slot straight in. So I don't know. For me, I was going to be a question to ask, by the way, before you go on. Like, how did you feel about that 150 million? Would that have been better spent on someone who is a defensive midfielder rather than shifting McAllister there, even though that's not really what he's known for?
Yes, probably. But the problem we had with that was we didn't get that offer until right at the end of the transfer window. And then it was too late for us to get anybody in without paying ridiculous money, because they knew we had the money for somebody that was worth probably half the amount that we would have ended up paying.
A Caicedo, a Mudryk, an Enzo.
Yeah.
Should I keep going?
You named three players, and one of them is good. Do you know what I mean? So
one of them is good, but still, 120 million is still a lot of money. But yeah, Caicedo for me was anyway. I agree, Lee, but I think one thing you guys needed to do was really not think short term of like, what are we going to do from now until Christmas? The offer comes in, and then because you had enough players, Gakpo, Nunes, Jota, what's his name, Luis Diaz. You had enough players to kind of satisfy the attacking needs. The problem that you had, like you say, is the defensive mid. You lost Fabinho, DM. I remember your comment. It was on a social media comment. Somebody mentioned, I think it was a pre-season, and I'll never forget this. Fabinho, you just got the season you bought Fabinho, right? Bear with me as I try to recall the whole moment. So you just bought Fabinho. You're in pre-season in America or Asia somewhere, one of these 8 places where you make like 10 million. And somebody posted, a Man United fan, on your status, Fabinho, nobody got to see him what he did. And you went, he's a defensive midfielder. You have to attack in order to see that. And I thought, do you know what? That is absolute quality. And since then, you've not really had another player do that kind of role. But yeah, I always remember that comment, because this United fan came on thinking being a clever little so-and-so, and you went, your team did an attack to see the best of Fabinho, mate. So
yeah,
that was
such a good
United.
Now I can't remember who he was. I think we went to the school with a kid and so on as well. By the way, for the listeners, we've all been friends for yonks now, haven't we? Like decades upon decades.
Many.
But no, for me, going back to point I was making is short-term thinking there. You had another window coming up in about 4 months. And out of those 4 months, 2 international breaks in there. So yeah, for me, if he was at Chelsea and he was like so on, I would have sold him. Like an Eden Hazard, 150 came for a 31-year-old Hazard, and you know how you guys know how I feel about Hazard. I put him on a pedigree with the JTs, the Lampards, the Didiers, the Zolas, and so on.
Just Chelsea players then.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, as a Chelsea player, like as a club legend, I put him at the very, very top. I've told you, even on the chat before, like sidetracking on Hazard, prime Hazard was 3rd best in the world to only Ronaldo and Messi on their prime. There was no one better than a prime Hazard, apart from those 2 boys. And Larry's pulling faces here because he thinks Pepe come from Lille at 75 million was better, but no.
I don't remember saying Pepe. Not at all. But I mean,
what I'm saying is your short-term thinking with the club is you really should have sold him. Although you would have got inflated prices because you got 150 million. Everybody knows you've got this money. You could have just sat on that money until January and then did something. Yeah,
that is right. If we'd have tried getting somebody instantly, then we'd have paid over the odds. But if we'd have sat and waited until January, and you could have watched obviously a few players over the 4-month period, and then sort of decided who you wanted from there. What I think one of the main problems for Liverpool is when we were doing well with Fabinho, Henderson, Firmino, Mane, we were doing that well for that long, that we didn't really change anything. It was the same squad. We added the odd couple of players here and there. And then all of a sudden, Mane's moved on. Hendo's legs went. Fabinho's legs went. Van Dijk's obviously a few years older than he was. And now we're in the predicament where, oh hell, like now we need to rebuild everywhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think as well. Sorry, just quick question. Maybe maybe both used to think here. I've never known Liverpool to spend money before they got the money. So obviously you rebuild with the Van Dijks and the Manes and so on. When you got the Coutinho money coming in, you guys made an offer for Moises Caicedo of 115 million before the Salah offer was made public. Do you think that offer came through? You made the offer then for Caicedo, he didn't come, and then you were thinking, actually, do you know what, we can't let go. Do you know, kind of when you buy a house, you're in a chain. I must sell one to buy this one. Similar thing here. I'm going to offer 115 for Caicedo, 100 or whatever it was you offered for Moises Caicedo. He turned you down, so then you're like, actually, we can't let Salah go, so we might have to hold on. Do you think that might have happened? Because am I wrong in thinking the offer got made public after the rejection from Caicedo?
I'm not sure. As far as obviously me and other Liverpool fans, as far as I know, the Salah offer was literally last minute. But yeah, that is obviously maybe a possibility of why they've turned it down. But again, Liverpool fans, like that offer for Caicedo, when that went in, we were like, what on earth is going on?
Liverpool it was out of the blue, wasn't it? It was like, what? Yeah.
I think even with Chelsea ending up buying him at that price, I just think it's ridiculous because let's face it, we're 7-8 matches in now, 8 game weeks in, and I'll be honest, I haven't been impressed with Caicedo, not even a little bit.
Relax yourself.
He just no, are you kidding me? Are you seriously having this conversation about Caicedo? Like, are you kidding me?
No,
I'll agree. I'll agree with that whole Hazard thing and whatever, right? But there's no way you're going to convince me that Caicedo's been a good signing for you. Like,
right, say that one more time because I need to snip the whole. I agree with the Hazard.
You ain't snipping.
Now listen, with the Caicedo stuff. To be fair, he has, but again, you know what I mean. The whole team has for Chelsea. The last 2 games that he's played, and I'll touch on it. He did so well for me this week as well. But yeah, last 2 games I've been impressed with him. Again, not to the level that I'm expecting 115, 120 million pound player and what I saw at Brighton. But don't forget, at Brighton, he was around teammates that he's been with 4 or 5 years. You know, like that's one of the main differences. But there's signs there that it's happening slowly for Chelsea. But I'll get onto that. So what do you do now then, Lee, for your Liverpool, to wrap up on Liverpool? If an offer comes on for Salah, 150, maybe less now, because they'll probably offer 120. But even if it's over 100 million, would you take it in January, knowing you're probably fighting for title and top 4? Would you give up? Or would you give up a season of silverware for a long-term project, i.e. bring money in to get those midfielders that you mentioned, or a centre back?
Not sure. At the start, when the offer came in August, I thought we'd have took it, and I said myself, probably said in the group that for 150 million for a plus 30-year-old, it's daft to turn it down. But you see, he's still doing it week in, week out. He got 2 today. Obviously, one of them was a penalty, but
all counts.
Take him out of the team in the middle of the season in January, then I don't know. Obviously, it depends where we are in the league. If we're still up there fighting likes of Arsenal and City, Tottenham.
Such a prick. I know where you're going.
And,
you don't have to insult him right there to his face, Lee. You know, I do that already, man. You don't have to insult him to his face.
I thought I'll take the punchline because I knew the way he was going.
He wasn't even going to say it, but you mentioned it, so it had to be said.
I mentioned it because he wasn't going to. What he said was, if we're up there with the likes of Arsenal, City, Tottenham.
Where's the lie?
No, it's not a lie. Like I mentioned it.
Brentford,
West Ham, yeah, exactly. Brighton,
Newcastle are in there, by the way. They're in the mix. But yeah, I think, Lee, I mean, overall with the performance today, because like I said, I watched the majority of that match. I was switching between that and Newcastle, and there was moments where, again, you just looked dangerous. But overall, I don't see the same threat in Liverpool. Like, don't get me wrong, like a Nunes, for example, I chat enough shit about him that guy will end up scoring, and that's what he does. But recently I've been like, you know what, he's changed, he's turned the corner, and he hasn't scored, so I need to talk shit about him. But I think as an overall performance, I mean, I personally don't see Liverpool as a major threat I definitely think they're a lot better than Tottenham in terms of the way they play. But what do you think? Like in terms of the performance so far, especially this match. Forget so far. For this match only. Then what do you think about this match only?
So today, back to what you were saying earlier about other teams pressing. Brighton pressed us from the off today, and we couldn't deal with it at all. We didn't know what to do. So for the first half an hour, we were just sort of chasing shadows, really, passing out Alisson to the defence, to Van Dijk, and then obviously for their first goal, Van Dijk passed it into McAllister with 3 men around him. And obviously they pinched the ball and scored from there. But because we had like Salah, Núñez and Diaz as our front three today, they had Brighton had Solly March playing left back out of position, and we've got probably still, I'd say, one of the best right wingers in the world on him. So instead of trying to play out from the back every time, I was like thinking, why don't we stick it over the top? Alisson's got the
launch it so they can run it behind. Yeah,
multiple times. Stick it over the top, give them something else to think about, and then press from there, like you were saying, press from the front. But I'm not sure, we just seem to lack a bit of confidence, even with the ball. Like even when our defence has got the ball and we're trying to play out from the back, it's all very panicky and rushed. Once we did start pressing a bit more from the front, Szoboszlai, to be fair, was the main one for it, pressing. That's when we started playing good football, and the first goal was a great goal. Real good football in the build-up for that. And the second half, we started real well. Again, still pressing, and then just sort of dropped off a bit towards the end. Brighton, for probably the last 20 minutes, Brighton, probably the better team, to be fair. And the goal was coming, I think. I think it was defensive error from Robertson for the free kick. But 2-2, probably a fair result.
I genuinely think it was a fair result, because even just looking at the stats, just forget the eye test. Even looking at the stats were very, very close. Some corners, they had more corner kicks, but again, that was mostly due to the sort of coming up to the end of the game where they just threw people in. Like especially in the second half, they realized like, oh wait, we can hurt these guys, and that's obviously what they were trying to do. But after Salah scored the 2 goals, I thought at that point I was like, all right, this is it. They're going to roll them over here. But then, they came back. Brighton came back. They had fight in them.
We just stopped playing again. Like, if obviously, like we were saying, the pressing and the fitness, and if you carry it on, then you go stick another 2 goals past them, maybe. But I don't know. Do they get comfortable? Maybe think, we've done it before. We're 1 down. Now we're 2-1 up, so we're going to go win it. But
it seems to be like a thing for Liverpool. Again, every episode I'm saying this when we do the predictions is like, they will concede, they'll win, or they won't lose, but they will definitely concede, and that seems to be the theme. And again, a better team, because Brighton are a good team, but like, if you're facing City and you're doing this type of stuff, and unfortunately, it can get very embarrassing. Potentially, I'm not saying it will, because Liverpool are not a shit team, but some of the chances that like you said, if you're dropping off in the second half of games and you're just not paying attention to the match all the way till the end, then someone like City will punish you. Many goals.
Punished you as well.
Exactly. My point.
What was it? Who was the guy? Pedro or something? I forgot the striker.
João Pedro.
He missed pretty much that. I would class that as sitter.
That was
composure.
That was a laid down. That's what that was.
That was awful. That was that was not even a sit. That was a
laid down. That's what it was. But I'll be honest.
There is that. He was literally stood in the box on his own, stood on the penalty spot on his own.
Yeah, that was shocking. That for a striker at the highest level, like in the Premier League, to do that, it's beyond me. Really is.
And obviously for your team, you're worried. Like, why is he there on his own? Why is he unmarked? It's the same the goal that Arsenal conceded effectively when he played against Lens. Declan Rice wasn't anywhere near the João Pedro position that he was in today, and the other guy put it away, a bit more clinical, a bit more composure, and it could have been a different result today. You could have gone home with nothing.
Yeah. Definitely. Obviously, for me, because where Liverpool are right now, a draw was definitely the best thing. Obviously, if they weren't going to lose, a draw was the best thing that I could ask for. Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm afraid for Liverpool like I was last season, because last season they were just poor. Like the beginning of last season was shocking from Liverpool. But this season, they started off decently. They're well within the mix. It's not like they're falling behind. When you compare, like I said, when you compare performances of Liverpool, compare it to Tottenham, Liverpool are a better team. They're just a better team. But with Tottenham, I don't know what it is. The luck is really on their side. With every match that I've seen Tottenham play, it's just luck is on their side, and I don't think that's a sustainable thing. But we'll chat about that.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? Like it's with Tottenham, I think it's what he's done. They just seem to go continuous. They seem to be relentless. Just kept trying. I watched a little bit of that game, and Richarlison missed the sitter, went with the wrong foot. Yeah. Their player missed the sitter. The guy who's been with them for 12 years from non-league to Premier League, I forgot his name. The big lad, the striker, not Morrison, the other guy, and he missed an absolute sitter as well. But yeah, well done to Tottenham.
Was it what was his name? Doughty? Was it Doughty or something?
Yes, I forgot his name, but yeah,
he was awful, by the way. Doughty, we'll get to that to the exactly. When we do the predictions, by the way, see how right or wrong we were. We'll touch on the other teams. But I mean, Lee, do you obviously in terms of Liverpool, is there anything that you want to add that you sort of saw today that maybe you thought, oh, that's brilliant, or I'm not really sure how that's going to work? Is there even a pass or something?
Tell you what, one thing that does worry me as a fan watching Liverpool, and it's been the same all season. And probably, to be fair, the back end of last season, how we set up for set pieces. We look so vulnerable from set pieces. Like today, I was saying about probably Robertson to take the blame for their second goal. So they've got a free kick on the left-hand wing, and we set up across like the 6-yard box. Robertson is the front man. So when the ball comes in, Robertson is trusted to clear it with his right foot. He's the most left-footed person in the world. His right foot is just for standing on.
Yeah, agreed.
At the risk of putting it in his own net, today he just didn't swing. He just pulled out of it, and it dropped straight to Lewis Dunk's feet. But even from corners and stuff, the amount of times the ball comes into the box and bounces in the box, and it's like schoolboy stuff. Like your ball shouldn't bounce in the box. It should be gone straight away.
Yeah, it should be cleared.
It just seems like with some, like you said, some of the tactics that maybe just not getting it right. But is that enough? Is that enough for teams to sort of go to face Liverpool and beat them? No, I don't think so. I don't think that's enough. But it's something that obviously Klopp has to address in the upcoming matches. But you're running out of defenders. I'll be honest with you, you're running out of defenders because you need them everywhere, but you don't have that many to be everywhere. So, and again, just looking at today, you get obviously what was it, Konate coming off, and then what was it, Gomez coming on later on as well for Trent. It's too many. Instead of changing the midfielders and the attackers, you're changing defenders, and it's not something that really happens, especially with championship league winning teams. The defense is the defense. That's pretty much set in stone from the beginning of the season.
You might add another one there to save the scoreline, but you don't really keep swapping defenders around, do you? You don't substitute defenders. You add defenders to save your scoreline and park a bus, but
that's what happens.
So I thought he was maybe he'd get taken off to sort of ease him back in. But it was the 80th minute before he took him off. So what's the point? If you're trying to ease him back in.
Yeah, don't keep him for that long. Don't keep him for that long.
Who's this for, sorry?
That was Trent today.
Trent.
Yeah. No, don't keep it. I was going to say, definitely don't keep it for that long. But yeah, I think Liverpool will do well. Just obviously because it's the first time on the podcast, and it's maybe a bit early, but what do you think, prediction-wise, for Liverpool at the end of the season? What sort of, not what would you be happy with, but just from what you've seen right now, where do you think they'll end up in the league?
Trophyless and outside of the Champions League spot. Oh, sorry, you're asking League. Sorry, you're asking League.
You're talking about your team there, bro. Take it easy, man.
We're winning it.
I do reckon we'll get top 4.
Is that as a fan, or is that you believe in it?
No, I do. I genuinely think we will get top 4.
I agree with that. I think you're strong enough to get the top 4, and I think, and again, I don't want to say, short of me saying mark my words, Tottenham are not going to be anywhere near that sort of top 3. I'll be honest with you, they're not going to be anywhere near it.
Tottenham will finish above Arsenal this year.
Oh, I mean, shit! Come on, don't be salty like that. Do you know what I mean? We've been salty for. You go. Honestly, you're on the verge of going another season without European football. So come on now.
Nah, we won't. I hope we do. Unless it's Champions League. If we're going to talk about Chelsea, unless it's Champions League, I don't want European football.
No, we'll definitely move on to Chelsea. But Lee, obviously, in terms of Liverpool, we're always having discussions about Liverpool because obviously you guys are in the group and sometimes you like chatting shit. So that's what we do. But in this case, I want to chat shit to Rick.
Chat shit to your face.
Chat shit to your face.
Well, let's keep it about Sunday then.
Let's keep it. Yeah, let's move it on to.
Sunday. Let's move to actually,
you know what?
Kickoff.
I want to talk about your game because again, big win.
Our game.
Big win. Yeah, for yesterday.
Big win for you boys. Let's keep it. I think we should talk since it's Sunday.
We'll come to that.
Question.
You scored 4 goals, which is weird because Chelsea don't score goals. So I just want to hear your excitement because
give me the mic. I'm ready.
Oh, hey, I hope you're ready, bro. But because
what do you want to know?
Lee, do you know what it is, right? Lee, do you know what it is? This is how you know that Rick's had a good weekend because he will chat shit about every other team, but when they lose, he's always like, yeah, they do all right. They're okay then. What's that, Rick? Are you morphing? Is that a morphine coin? What is that?
that is a Power Ranger, the White Ranger, the Blue Ranger. Sorry, not White Ranger, Blue Ranger.
You're out here, morphine die.
Nah, let's begin. Let's keep it professional.
Nah, let's not keep it professional at all. I just want to know what happened to you boys. 4 goals. What's going on?
What happened is trust, confidence. That's literally what happened. Just trusting each other to be able to pass the ball and trust each other in the way you trust your teammate that you're going to give him the ball and they're not going to lose it. We started off quite poor with a lack of trust, thinking as if we're the top dog. Raheem Sterling was quite shit, to be honest, in the first 20 minutes. I even put it on chat, for fuck's sake, he started Raheem again. And then all of a sudden he goes and gets involved in all 4 goals. And you think, this is what you can do. Do you know, the thing is, it's that kind of thing of when you know what you can offer, or let's say you've got your own son or daughter or somebody or a family member or something, you're like, what you can do. This is your potential. This is where you've literally been for the past 4 years at Man City. You've been involved in goals, running at defenders, taking them on, scoring, creating. And then you come to Chelsea, you just slow right down. You slow the game down. You slow everything right down. But 1 second, because I'm being interrupted by my darling daughter.
Oh, no, that's cool. That's cool, Rick. I think you're right though, because I watched again parts of this match, and it just seemed a bit more cohesive as a team. You were playing for the team basically, rather than
that's it.
Rather
than individual, isn't it?
But again, you added the addition for me, and I will stick by this. Cole Palmer is probably one of the best additions that you've had to your team in the last 3 windows, because he's such a good player. He's so confident on the ball, and again, he's one of those guys who's like, "Fuck you, man, I got this," and that's what you need. You need that guy because everyone else was just becoming very sensitive. Lee, obviously, I don't know if you actually watched the Chelsea match or caught any of it.
I didn't see it, no. But I do agree on the Cole Palmer. I didn't understand the substitution, the transfer, to be fair, from a Man City point of view.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I was like, wow, I didn't even know he was up for sale. Why didn't anyone else go for him? But apparently Chelsea, they just snuck in there. But great signing, I think. And he's shown it in the last 2 games, and the fact that he started this match as well and took a penalty, by the way, over all the other main players there. It's incredible. But yeah, Cole Palmer, I think he's made a hell of a difference, and obviously they got a little bit lucky, Chelsea, with the own goal. But that's obviously we have to wait for Rick to let us know that. But there he is, and
I think his criticism was
these delivery drivers, man. It feels like as if I'm the only house here.
Shit, bro! Like
it's like as if I'm the only house in the street.
You seem to raise your hand button on the bottom, by the way.
Right, I'm back. My apologies for that, listeners. Apologies.
No, Lee was just saying. We were just talking about Cole Palmer and how good he's been for you guys.
He really has. No, he's been good. He's been decent, and I'm going to use the word calm. And I know we joke around, but he's not rushing the ball. He's composed on the ball. He sees a bigger picture. He sees that a player's on the opposite side of the pitch, and he's not afraid to kick the ball there. He's not afraid to hold it. He's creative. He's composed. I'll use that word again. He's got a good finish on him. He's exciting as well, because you like to be like, okay, what's he going to do? But again, he looks good because there's support on that right hand side. I don't know if you saw, Cucurella was an option. Conor Gallagher was doing that Odegaard role yesterday and kind of being as an option inside the midfield. If Gallagher wasn't available, the ball would go to Moses Caicedo, and then we would switch play and go to the other side. But yeah, the main thing, like you said as well, is just we're more cohesive. We're playing for the badge. He's got the guys feeling well. I enjoyed as well when Cole Palmer scored. Everybody hugged him. I didn't feel like it was, we just took the lead. It was more like, you little scallywag, well done, got your first goal for the club, many to come, that kind of feeling, rather than, oh, well done, we're 2-1 up. Similar win. The guys from the bench got up as well. They were celebrating, and it just seems to be more smiles rather than hindering, darkness. God, we've had to extend the changing room. We've got a gazillion players coming through. Just a bit. It was more, but there were still things to work on. Like, I chat shit about Raheem because he deserves the shit chatting effectively. Because there are moments he's so good, and then there's moments he's just so off. Like, he is night and day. There is no in between with him. It's either he's running at defenders and being creative like he did yesterday, or he's shy. Now, I think he looked good yesterday because the opposition was weak. So obviously, before we start all hopping on the praise and stuff, he did the same against Luton. Against Luton, he scored 2 or 3.
He actually had a good performance against.
He had a great performance against Luton. And Luton, we saw what Luton. Quick side topic: the 3 teams that have come up this year have been, for me personally, the worst 3 teams to come up from the Championship since I started watching Premier League, or since for as long as I can remember. And that's why Raheem looks good. I think, they need to go back down because they're awful. Genuinely awful. But yeah, that's one thing I think Raheem. I know everybody's hopping on the praise of, Raheem is doing amazing and so on. Yeah, he ran at defenders, he did something, but the opposition was weak, man. The right back, Vitinho, whatever his name was, awful. The penalty, what's he doing jiving in for that penalty? But hey, I'm not complaining. We're winning 2-2 or 3 if you count the Carabao Cup. But and long may it continue. But again, we're not clinical enough. When Cole Palmer, positive. Armando Broja, positive. Mudryk came on, passed the ball to, I don't know if do you see that bit of Mudryk when the ball came on and he ran to the bar line?
I didn't at that point. After he went 4-1, I was like, no, what's the point?
Jackson could have scored again, but he was just so slow on the ball. Too slow on the ball. It just takes a touch, and you think, like, it needs to be instinct. You just need to hit it.
Jackson's goal, though. Jackson's goal was really good. That was really good.
It was a good finish. That was the time to take a touch. Yeah. But,
you tapped it round and then obviously put it in, which was great. Good to see. I like your players. It's just too many of them. So, that was the whole problem with
too many players to like. It's like a cake. It's just too sweet. It's just too sweet.
Exactly. But that rots your teeth off. So I can't like them all, but I think another decent performance from Gallagher, which how much I love talking shit about him. So I think I need to stop that now because he's actually becoming good. So
there's no correlation between you chatting to 2 players and then performing.
Look at all the messages. Look at all the messages about Richarlison, Nunes, and look at every time I've gone, oh shit, he's gonna score. Like, look at there is correlation there. That goes without saying. Is there any players, by the way, who are suffering who you want me to start building up? Is there anyone in particular that you want me to do that?
Probably just go through the 11, mate. Go through the 11.
But no, you, Rick. Obviously, would you say? Great performance against Burnley, a Burnley side that obviously haven't really done much all season. Are you proud? Are you happy with that?
I'm proud of the win. I'm not the performance
result,
again. Yeah. I'm proud of because you can only be what's put in front of you. So obviously it's not up to us how bad Burnley are. Up to us is just to get the job done, and we did. Obviously started off really shaky. We weren't creating enough, but yeah, we got stuck in there. Got that lucky goal. Sometimes you need a break. But a deflection of the defender and it changes the direction of the ball or the height of the ball. And we were 1-1 at half time, came out second half, and we were firing. They did not stand a chance in the second half. First half, I think we went in the game with the mentality of we are better than this lot. And they played very good football. The guy in the middle, Cullen, was fantastic. He was everywhere. He was all over Enzo and Gallagher. He didn't let them breathe. But again, Burnley's quite naive. I've said it before. Like, you can't come into the Premier League with that Championship mentality of where you can beat everybody in the Championship and you play silky football. And in the Prem, then you try to do the same because you get found out. And they have. I don't think have they got a win? They haven't got a W, have they? A draw? I don't even know if they've got a draw.
I think they may have won. I think they've got 1 win. I think. Let me just check.
Oh yeah, they got 1 win against Luton. Yeah.
Against Luton on
they beat Luton. So. That's it. Yeah, so they beat the team that they came up with, which is quite expected because they beat him last year home and away, I think, as well. So yeah,
they smashed them.
Overall, this isn't a game for Chelsea to kind of go away and be like, "Whoa, we're back. We're going to win the league. We're favourites for top 4, etc., etc." But it's another block in the right direction. It's another step towards that progress, towards that team coming together. The real test starts after the international break, where we face Arsenal at the Bridge. Then the big list of teams that come after.
But I mean, obviously, it was always going to come anyway. So that's just something that's unfortunate.
Players are coming back, by the way. Players are coming back from injury. Reece James was available for this game, but obviously didn't feature because he's suspended for comments that he made towards the referee against the Villa loss. So he's back from injury and training. Obviously, 2 weeks international break. Hopefully, a couple of more players can come in as well. But the big players that we want is Nguku to come back, Chilwell. Our best team is still not put together. Chilwell, Reece James, Nguku. These are the kind of players that we're missing.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, they'll be back. They'll be back for after the international break or for the bigger matches, hopefully. So that'll be interesting to see and what sort of challenge Chelsea put up against the top four. The current top four. Let's just just in case Ricky goes, you're talking about the top four again. Yeah, current top four. Okay, let's just take it easy. But yeah, I mean, Rick, is any sort of major takeaways from that particular match? I mean, can I just say, by the way, in the first half there was 4 yellow cards for Chelsea, 1 for Pochettino, so 5 altogether. I'm just saying. I mean,
that's when I made on the comment. The ref was weak. Like, he gave Enzo Fernandez a yellow card, saying, "Ref, why did he get a yellow card on his first tackle?" Like, literally, what he did, he just came over and said, "Ref, that's his." And the player's going to do that. It was a yellow card on Cucurella. What Cucurella did was dirty. It was a yellow card. It wasn't a red. It was a yellow. But as a teammate, I'm going to come over and plead his case regardless. Just like I raise my hand when I know you've kicked it off or I've kicked it out for a throw, and I'm like, "Oh, ref, it's ours."
Yeah.
But you don't yellow card somebody for coming over. And I felt like the referee was like, "What?" I got the mentality of, "Why are you questioning me for?" And that's what Pochettino came out and did as well, because then it wasn't a yellow card on Armando Broja. But I know you said I'm going to watch the highlights on the chat, but they don't make the highlights. But it was a yellow card on
Lee.
Thiago.
You didn't watch that match, but you know what? I'm going to find you a clip and I'm going to share it with you in the group, right? And then I need you to make a decision that we can put out, because that was a card.
What, on Thiago?
Yeah.
It's okay. Agree to disagree on that, but for me, it's not a yellow card, because what's his name? Vitino kicked the ball like 60 yards in front of him, and then obviously he tried to go left
in front of him. What is
it? To
the other end of the pitch? He kicked it at the crowd.
If you watch it again, he kicks it from the centre circle, the edges of the centre circle, and by the time he gets fouled, the ball has made it over to the
Thiago had already positioned himself to sort of
Thiago ran at full pace. Ran at full pace, but that's not a yellow though. Like, a block in the middle of the park is not a yellow. Like, I don't know. He wasn't even on the counter. If everything he could have gone and took on the whole 11 and scored.
That's why he got the yellow. That's why he got the yellow, because again,
every foul becomes but then every foul becomes he could have done. Oh, he could have done. You impeded me, and I could have done. You know what I mean?
That's where they're going anyway.
And if they are doing that, be fair for both teams. Armando Broja got fouled in the middle of the park. He could have gone, and nothing got given, and he was on the last defender, one more defender, like a Van Dijk sort of role, a bit further back, or like a bit more back to the side, and he didn't get a yellow card, the defender, for that. And it goes back to, like, for Chelsea, it seems to be anything that Chelsea do, it's a yellow card or it's a serious talking to. Their defender wiped Armando Broja, and the linesman went, he just got a shake he got a shake of the finger from the referee there, and I was like, should get a fucking yellow card. Shouldn't get a shake of the finger. What the fuck does that mean? Don't do that anymore. Why didn't our player get it? Don't do that anymore.
In all fairness, obviously
BS.
The referees haven't had a great start to anything. And I mean, obviously, Lee, you probably heard on the last pod we discussed the whole Luis Diaz situation and the apology and the PGMOL. Actually, Rick, before we move on to Lee, because I need to ask him that question because he's a Liverpool fan and we haven't had one of those on the pod. So, Rick, and do you want to add anything to the Chelsea, to the Chelsea performance, or anything, like I said, that you took away from it?
No, nothing else to add. Like I said, that's it. We're trusting each other, we're playing for each other, and we seem to be getting the ball in the box more often and creating more. I hope Armando Broja starts the next game as well against Arsenal. I know he'll probably go with Jackson, but I'm hoping Broja starts. And I'll be honest with you, like, I wouldn't give Sterling a run out, because we've seen what he can do against the big teams, which is nothing. He'll just get scared. I know he got involved all 4 goals, but let's be honest.
Getting goals and assists and being involved.
But still, again, he does that. He did that against Luton. No, I think we went and played Nottingham Forest. He did nothing. Played against Villa. He did nothing. And all he ever seems to want to do is touch the ball and then kick it back towards the midfielder where he came from. And although he can isolate himself in a 1-to-1 position on one-on-one attacking scenarios, and he never goes at the player. And you're like, come on, mate! Like, you are that guy. Like, you've got Premier League experience. Do something.
This season so far.
Pardon?
Is he your top scorer this season so far?
He is, and the goals he scored was probably yesterday and Luton. Like, come on, like this
I love
speaks
the
for
way
itself.
Lee
I
asked
need
that
to do
question.
something else.
I love the way Lee asked that
exactly,
question.
but that's meaning nothing to me. Like if you're watching Chelsea week in, week out, you want more from your team. It's like me saying to you, is your McAllister your best defensive midfielder this season so far? And you would say he is, but that's not his position, or that's not what I want from him. Same as asking you, Larry. You'd be like, oh, isn't Havertz your best penalty taker? And you're like, yeah, but how often do we get penalties, for example? You know, like, I hear what you're saying, but you want more from these players.
I would never agree to that. It's clearly Saka or
Argument's
Odegaard.
sake. Exactly, but for argument's sake, what I'm saying to you is like, we watch our teams, we know what we're missing, and what we're missing is Sterling being able to attack defenders, because he's quick, he's agile, he's creative. He just seems to lack the confidence and be like, do you know what, I'm not doing that. And as frustrating as for Sterling not attacking defenders, that's how frustrating it becomes for Mudryk than trying sometimes of just attacking defenders all the time. There's no mix into their games. It just seems to be one way, and that's it. Very one-dimensional.
There's no compromises.
But yeah, other than that, nothing else to take really. I hope this is Sterling going, actually, do you know what? I can run at defenders. I can do this. I am Raheem Sterling. I am an English international. I am a Premier League winner. I am this. I am this. And just kind of like, what's that called? That self-loving, where he looks himself in the mirror and goes,
vanity. Vanity. And
all I keep getting is, what's that thing of Russ where Mel Gibson goes, you are the man.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, sorry. Yeah. Mel Gibson.
I'm just a love machine, baby.
Love machine to say, I'm just a dribbling machine. And
I mean, to be fair, you've actually come up with a good campaign for Sterling there. I am. So that's pretty good. That, you know, you should message him, or if you listen to, like, Raheem, if you listen to this podcast, right, you can.
You are,
and I am.
And by the way, can I just say it? We're sitting first twice.
Sorry, what? Did you say Chelsea in first? What you said? What are you talking about?
Twice. We're first twice. 1-1.
Oh, well, I mean, sorry. What's your league? Let me just have a look. Let me just clarify something in my brain here, because
I don't need clarity.
Let me just. Do we need clarity here? Is that what you said? Because let me just clarify it for you. Right, you're actually sat 11th.
Top of the bottom half. Top of the bottom half. We are coming on.
Yeah, 1-1.
1-1. No, that's it. But yeah, moving on. I've got nothing else to add on Chelsea. Let's obviously stick in London.
No. Before we do that,
you want your question
about the PGMO? Like, because I know, Lee, we obviously have discussions on the group, and we've got another friend of ours, obviously a crazy Liverpool fan as well. So now that we've got you on the pod, like, what did you think of that? I mean, what's for you? Obviously, I know what you thought, but what is the best solution that could have come out of that probably would have been fair?
There isn't one really. Them coming out and apologising, they were always going to do that. It was clear watching the game live that he was onside, and that they didn't show the lines, and that then you knew straight away that they'd made a mistake. But the whole, obviously, Klopp said about the game being replayed. He didn't go and say, I want this game replayed. He was saying that would have been the fair way to do it.
Yeah.
So now everybody's jumping on that bandwagon of, right, let's replay this game, let's replay that game. But the difference is, all these other games that have had mistakes, you don't have the proof that the referee or the VAR knew there and then why the game was playing, that they had made a mistake within 3 seconds of the restart.
Yeah. I think I was going to say, Lee, I mean, I don't know if you actually heard the recording that they released, the official recording that the ref was having with the assistant ref. And again, it was just tough listening, to be fair with you, because it was just a case of like, no, it's offside. Go look at that again. Go look at that again. And then seconds later, the guy's like, oh no, game's playing. And then he's like, well, no, that wasn't offside. That was the clear goal. Yeah. And then he goes, oh no, the game's already restarted. And I'll put a clip on it on the podcast for people who haven't heard it. But that's that's the gist of it. And I just don't think that's acceptable. I don't think that's acceptable at all.
So what they said is their thought in the VAR room or wherever they are, that the goal had been given. So they checked it, seen he was onside, and said correct decision.
Check
complete. So they did. And then as soon as the Tottenham centre half took the free kick, literally the ball had barely even left his foot. And the fella at what do they call him, the replay assistant, is it?
Yeah.
He clicked on straight away, they're taking a free kick here, not a kick-off. So the ball got played out, I think got played to the fullback, knocked down the line, got headed back, went out for a throw, and that's when they're saying, against restarted, I can't do now.
Can't do nothing about it.
The ball is out of place, so you could have done something. Nothing significant has happened.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no.
And again, like I said to you, Rick, he's got the whistle. That's why the ref has got the whistle, so he can control the game and not just be like, oh, well, they kicked it now. I can't really do anything about it. Just not at the level that we're talking about. It's not even something that we should be discussing. But yet here we are.
I don't understand how they got the wrong decision to say like, oh, goal disallowed instead of goal scored. Like, I just don't. I understand they're trying to blame lack of communication, but what must you say for you to misunderstand what I've just said? What must have, I, as the main referee, the official on the pitch, must have said to you two who are in the Stockley Park in the VAR room? What must I have said for you to be like, oh, did he say goal allowed? Like, what did I say? Like, oh, offside goal.
You just saw.
Do you see what I mean? Like, what must I have said for you to misunderstand what I was trying to say? Like, surely there's got to, unless they've got to come together and just get a script together, like keep words down to a minimum, offside, check goal offside or onside, you know what I mean? But I think the way moving forward, like I touched on the previous episode, was to have the full audio being played to the stadium like they do in rugby. You can hear the referee, the main referee then is in control. I've seen in rugby times, even now the Rugby World Cup's going on. Watched the other day, I was like, is that a try? Can we turn it around? Can you give me a different angle? Can we focus, zoom in on the knee? Is that touching? Do you see what I mean? There's like clear, precise, the whole stadium can hear. I, as the manager of this team or the opposition's team, then I can kind of question that with a fourth official and be like, hold on a minute, he's onside. We're checking whether the goal is disallowed, not whether the goal is given. Like, what's going on? And it's shambolic, but obviously I'm glad it happened to your team and not my team.
Well, you say that, but
sit and watch the screen, watch the game, and Diaz scored, and then the camera goes to the lino that's got its flag in the air. So how could they possibly think the goal had been given?
Yeah, fair point.
So then obviously the on-field guys that have gone with the fact that it's offside, and then that's why he let the free kick happen, even though someone else, they should have waited for someone else to actually finish the check and done it properly. But again, whichever way you look at it, it's just not good enough. And again, apologies not good enough. And in terms of obviously Klopp, I know that he was sort of half joking about the game being replayed because that definitely wouldn't have been fair to Tottenham, as much as I don't really care.
No, it's not fair.
It wouldn't have been fair.
No.
But I think if you're going to come out and apologise and you want to change something, I just honestly add that goal back. It's 2-2. That's the fairest thing that they could have done. Do you know what I mean? But the problem with that being it will set a precedent for other matches.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
but even though it'll set a precedent, will the other refs, they'll be more careful next time because they don't want to be embarrassed like that. What was his name? Robert England or something? What was the
something England? Yes.
Whatever.
England.
Yeah.
Darren England.
Darren England. That's it. Yeah. So you know what I mean? It's if you're going to come out and apologise, okay, you've done it wrong. Nice one. Thanks for that. Give me the goal back. 2-2, end of story. There's you know what I mean? It's a mistake. Sorry, Tottenham. That's what happened. You've gained an advantage now because of our mistake, so we're just going to have to give that goal back to them. There you go. I know it sounds easier in theory than practice, but something has to be done where something has to be like a precedent has to be set on how you handle these situations.
I think I hear what you're saying, but I don't think that would work neither. Like giving the goal back, because then Tottenham would come out and make a counter argument. We would have still gone and scored because we were up with 10 men, or like had an extra man and so on and so forth. The way that they've done it is very political, because the best scenario is we apologise, we're going to learn, we're going to review, and we're going to make sure it doesn't happen again. But it's like Pochettino said when they interviewed him, because all the managers I think got asked their opinion on VAR. Pochettino said, I trust the car. It's the driver that I have a problem with. And it's the same thing here. VAR is there. You trust the VAR to do the right thing. Like Gary Neville said it before. If you're offside by an inch or millimetre, you are by the letter of the law, you are offside. But it's then again, it still has human error there. Although they're trying to minimize it to human error. If we're drawing lines, this is why I said use the Champions League model that they use, the 3D digitized one. There is no error with computers. There is, okay, unless there was a dodgy programming. But so far, I've never seen an error in the Champions League with the offside rule. I've never seen a goal being disallowed like that, and I've never seen a goal being given when a player was offside if he has scored an offside goal. And if we're at the elite level, which we are, and we're saying the Premier League is the best in the world, then we need to have the best system in the world. And drawing lines should not even come into it, because there don't seem to be cameras directly at the angle to see exactly where the player is. It seems to be from if it's happening at 12 o'clock, for argument's sake, the camera angle seems to be coming from 3 or 2 o'clock, you know what I mean? Rather than directly north facing from exactly where it's happened. And I think that needs to change. I think we need to go to that sort of digitized where we can see the last defender, heel, boot, stud, whatever it is is used as part of the playing.
More of a sense of that way, isn't it? But I think, sorry, Rick, just last thing I'll say on this, by the way, because obviously I know we discussed it, but you saying, oh, Tottenham will come out and be like, oh, we could have scored. Again, I'm not working off theory here, because Liverpool actually got that goal, which was wrongly disallowed. Do you know what I mean? So again, that's not theory. That's like, if Tottenham go, oh, well, we could have scored more. Well, I don't know that, but these guys actually scored this goal and we chalked it off. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I say that could have been the fairest thing. Like, because right now, Tottenham, on that win, they won because of the ref, because of the mistake that VAR made. That's the only reason they won. They were not going to win that game. That was at best a draw for Tottenham. But the fact that happened, the heads dropped and everything around it. So that's why I say it's probably the fairest thing. Obviously, I'd rather it not happen and they just, do their job properly, what they're asked to do.
Yeah,
70k to 100k a year. Do your job properly.
Well, that's 100k a year base, and then plus 3-4 grand every weekend.
Match,
so
yeah,
we look solid. The game very well paid. But should we move on then? Should we move on to you guys?
Let's do it.
Let's see talking today. So obviously, I saw that lineup and I thought, what the actual fuck is going on here? For both teams, by the way. So if I just quickly go on this and then I'll get your opinions on it. I've personally thought, when I saw City lineup, I thought Guardiola got it wrong again, because he tried to nullify your midfield rather than play his game. And a part of me is glad that he failed, but I'm just not happy he failed against Arsenal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, obviously you won't be. Yeah, of course you won't be. That's standard.
Because he's an overthinker. Like, I don't understand why Nico Lewis, whatever his name is, Rico Lewis, left back, playing in midfield. Like, what's he doing? The 100 million geezer, who came from RB Leipzig, he's playing left back. Like, why is he not centre back? He's expected to run up and down the pitch. He's not playing a Doku, who he brought in, who's an attacking-minded midfielder. He's not playing a Jack Grealish. He's not playing Alvarez in the right position. Alvarez was more or less on the right. And I think Mika Richards touched on it as well after a little bit. He said, why isn't Alvarez in the middle of the park in that 10, where he gets the little pockets and feed off with Haaland and so on? Everything about this game for City was just shocking. And to be fair, you guys weren't much better neither. It was just very much cancelling each other. Get to the final third, shite. Play some decent passes, beat a press. Arsenal fans obviously cheering every pass and so on, which is great because you're the home team. And then get to the final third, absolutely nothing. Until Havertz came on. Martinelli came on the side.
Martinelli was the change. Martinelli was
the change. But even with Martinelli, you weren't doing anything up top. Havertz came on and he could hold the ball up. Nketiah lost every time he came into Nketiah. It was bounced off like it was Lukaku. I thought, because this guy's not got a first touch here or what? But what did you think from start to finish? Talk us through Larry's thought process of this team and joy and misery at some point as well of the red card. But we'll get into that.
To be fair, the lineup wasn't there wasn't much different than what we talked about on the last episode. And obviously I wanted to see, I said to him, Ramsdale would probably be all right in this match, but he can't remove Raya and then insert Ramsdale in an important match like this after 3 matches that Ramsdale hasn't started. So match fitness, I think they made the right choice by picking Raya. Throughout the game, I don't know if you watched the whole thing, Raya, I'm not going to lie to you, right?
Shaky.
My heart I was about to throw up my heart, because I don't know what he was doing on some occasions. Like, the amount of time that he held that ball was just unbelievably not satisfying. It was just on edge, everything about it. But a couple of bad passes, a couple of mistakes. It could have been such a different match. It really could have from right off from the beginning. But and Ake almost proved that. He got in there, he almost scored, which luckily for us he didn't. But yeah, in terms of the lineup, not really surprised at that. Jesus on the right, like I said, and Nketiah centre, and then Trossard on the left, just because I don't think he wanted to start Martinelli and potentially injure him again right from the beginning. But I think some problems that we had was missing Saka. He provides width, he opens up the pitch for us, and with him there, we've got that option, just a little bit of an extra 1-2 on the side. Him and Odegaard, they've got a nice understanding. Ben White down there as well. But Jesus was a bit narrow for me. Like, he didn't open the field up that much. He was a bit narrow, and there was instances where Odegaard was looking for that runner, like a Saka, but there was no one there. So it was a bit edgy as a match, and definitely I was nervous watching that. And obviously, I don't know if you actually caught the match. I mean, what did you think? I know you don't care for any of the teams. I know that.
Yeah, I watched the game. Yeah, I thought it was poor quality, to be fair.
Yeah.
See, I know you see it a lot when games are hyped up like that and then it doesn't really live up to it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think both midfields were terrible.
Yeah.
Arsenal's defence was absolutely brilliant. Haaland, don't think Haaland hardly touched the ball. Going forward, I think Arsenal looked pretty good, but obviously with your injuries, you've got Jesus playing out wide, playing out of position. He's obviously going to be more effective in the middle, through the middle. But I thought he'd done all right. To be fair, I thought he was one of your better players.
Yeah, he got stuck in, didn't he? Quite a lot, especially against the defender. No, I thought Odegaard was awful. I'll be honest with you. But then again, like you said, I didn't think of that. Maybe he was looking for the sackers and stuff. Not awful, but it wasn't to his best of what we used to see with Odegaard with those cut through passes. But yeah, no, I agree. I agree with Lee's observation there as well. I was literally going to say the same as well. Just awful midfield.
Defensively, again, I couldn't ask for any more. Even at the end when Haaland sort of went down Gabriel's side, that's where usually mistakes happen. You'll panic right at the end, or you'll get too cocky, overconfident, and you'll be like, oh, I can get this ball, and then he'll overreach, and then he'll get a penalty or concede a penalty. So I'm glad that even though when Haaland moved over after Doku came on, he moved over a bit more to the right, towards Gabriel's side, because he was getting no joy. Saliba was giving him absolutely nothing. He had him in his pocket, he had him in his top pocket, top shirt right there. He didn't do anything, and that's what Saliba does to Haaland, and he has done every time they played against each other. And
I think that's more of a thing though as well, not taking away from Saliba. If you look at the way City play with Haaland, is when the midfield is running at the defenders, and that's when the defender then has to come out to close down a De Bruyne, a Gundogan last year and so on. And then that created the space for Haaland in the box to move. Because when he has to do it himself with smart movement, his movement is great, don't get me wrong, he was top scorer in the league last year, but it's kind of that outside of the box movement sometimes he lacks. And sometimes he just stays next to the defender thinking, oh, I'll be all right here. But they didn't play to Haaland's strengths. Yeah, but there was nothing. Because the defender didn't commit anywhere else other than staying on Haaland, and he's got passed between Saliba and Gabriel. So defensively, Arsenal were very, very good. And obviously it showed clean sheet against City. But yeah, I think for me personally, it was just City getting it all wrong. Guardiola getting it wrong again. Overthinking. I don't know why he put 5 midfielders. 5 midfielders. I've never seen City with 5 midfielders and Haaland up on his own. What was he doing? Trying to shut down Arsenal. And I'm always happy when a manager does that. Rather than play their game, tries to, tactically do what you want to do slowly, but start your game. What's your plan on this game? Your plan should not be to kind of hinder my plan. Your plan should be to overcome my plan and make small tactical changes. Okay, Jorginho is bossing it, let's add another midfielder. Or Odegaard's doing this, let's do this. John Stone on the bench, why isn't he starting? Okay, come back from injury.
Yeah.
Well, then do what they did with Trent. Start him and then take him off halfway through or 80th minute.
I'll put him on earlier if
or
you
play Nico Lewis as a CDM. Don't play Nico Lewis as more or less like a cam or a CM moving forward. I saw Nico Lewis in the final third more often than I've ever seen him there. He's a defensive-minded player. Play
he's
him
like Zinchenko, isn't he? That's why they're trying to utilize him and then put
but
3
not that high up though. He put him so high up at the top. Play him as a CDM, or just do what Herrera did to Hazard when Mourinho was at United. You're staying on Odegaard. Wherever he goes, you go. If he goes to the toilet, you follow him to the toilet.
I don't think Rico Lewis would have been able to handle Odegaard, I'll be honest with you.
What is it like to be there? Because you're right, because Odegaard got the ball. There was one thing I was talking, because I watched the game with a friend of mine, and he said, I love that when players get the ball and then turn and look at the defence, because half of the time they've got their back to goal and they pass it and then turn around trying to get the ball in half turn. Odegaard got it, first touch, he jumped over a ball and then he was just looking at the City goal.
I was just saying, I love that jump that he does where he sort of
just touch and turn at the same time and jump all combined. Yeah, absolutely, man. No, he's a quality footballer, but today, he looked very average because
they kept him quiet.
They kept him quiet.
Like you said, they overloaded the midfield. Odegaard again when it doesn't have that Saka support, and then therefore Ben White doesn't go up there to support as well as much. It becomes a little bit more like it's Odegaard not really playing well, rather than he doesn't have the supporting cast around him for him to play well and spray them balls. But look, in terms of performance, like you said, halfway through that, before the last sort of 20 minutes or something, I was yawning. I was actually yawning watching this match. That's how bored I was becoming. Bored and scared at the same time. I don't know if that's a feeling you've ever had, bored and scared. I don't know. It's like watching a shit horror movie. But so last 20 minutes we were good. For me, obviously, the main talking point really was the red card or lack of red card in this case. Boys, Lee, I'm going to start it off with you.
Go on, Lee, start with you, Paul.
Tell me your honest thoughts. Don't be influenced by Ricky, all right? He's a Chelsea fan. I just got to remind you, all right? Us Reds going to stick together. Red's going to stick together.
Us Reds.
We're red buddies. Stick together.
I think it was a red card. When I first seen it, I thought it was yellow. But then when I seen the replay, it was nasty. It was a nasty one. Andy came through the back of him, to be fair.
Like from the side to the
short,
back.
sweet, to the point.
It doesn't.
We just asked for a 500-word essay. My man just went straight on for the A-star.
It was succinct. It was succinct and to the point, and there's no need to go about it any further because it was a definite red card. And I know Mika Richards came out on the halftime. What is it? Whatever.
Yeah.
Review. Halftime show.
Halftime analysis.
That's the one. Analysis. That's what I was looking for.
Halftime show. My guy's watching NFL.
NFL out here, but that's actually on tonight. So, but no, he came out and he said he was like, I watch it slow motion. It makes it look so much worse. I know it makes it look worse because, like in real time, even if you shoot
freeze
someone,
frame, it's always worse.
Even if you shoot someone in real time, it's not going to look that bad. It's like, what happened there? But then you slow it down, like, damn, that guy got shot.
Like comparison from.
I'm just saying, like Kovacic.
I hear what you're saying.
It nearly broke the guy's ankle. It nearly broke the guy's ankle. Come on, man. That was a red card if I've ever seen one. If that wasn't a red card, what happened to the second yellow? Why was there no second yellow?
See, obviously the first one, I'm not doing a Wenger or a Fergie here. I have to see it again. But I'm genuine, and I saw the challenge, and I only called you on freeze frame, and that's when I was like, "Is that how it happened? Am I on mute? Is that why you're shaking your? Oh no, I'm not on mute. I thought you were shaking your finger.
I'm shaking my head because like.
All right, I thought you were doing it because I'm on mute. I'm like, wait, I'm on mute. No, for me, honestly, joking aside, all jokes aside, the second one I saw better, the one on Declan Rice, and I was like, this doesn't. If it was without a yellow card, it merits a yellow card. And before you kind of jump on me here, be like, "Was yellow card's a yellow card? If 2 equals red, then he should get off." But then he would have ruined the game if he'd come off for that reason, right? Because what I saw there was him. He put his foot there in that position to block it. Declan Rice kicked the ball and then kind of hit his studs. You don't put yourself in that position, but it's not a yellow card, and the referee waved it off straight away. The first one. On the freeze frame, if you freeze frame it, it looks a lot worse. Jones's yellow card looked red card looked a lot worse against Spurs because of the freeze frame. He went over the ball, he hit me right on my shin, and so on and so on. But in reality, it wasn't that bad. He got the ball there, he went over.
I get it. But I'm saying Jones got that red card. Kovacic should have been ruled by the same rule.
The red card as well. From what you guys are saying, then yeah, like obviously if it's going to be one rule for one, it needs to be one rule for all, not same again. This is what the problem with weak referees and inconsistencies. But yeah, for me, honestly, I can't give you a full opinion, but from what I saw and freeze frame, it looks a lot worse. It's a yellow card, maybe is the best decision, probably like an amber, orange, that kind of bit, but it wasn't a direct red for me.
So a second yellow then.
Lee.
So a second yellow then. No, Lee. All right, okay.
He said something, but he was confused. What was he saying? Because he said something and smoked.
Lee, what do you think? Was that a second yellow or not? Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Nah, not even close. You man are tripping. You Reds are tripping. Your mind
doesn't matter because obviously you're always going to disagree. You're always going to want Arsenal to lose. No,
it's not that. I just think you guys obviously have got a rivalry, both teams now, because you're both quite good, and obviously you're no way City, but that wasn't like if you're fair.
No way Kovacic should have finished that match being subbed off. There's absolutely no way.
He should have come off at half time. I can't believe Guardiola risked it.
Forget that. He should have been off from that red card or the second yellow at least. I'm saying there's no way he should have finished that match the way he did. He should have been sent off.
Right, let me see it. Let me see if I can get this up again.
You can watch the freeze frame. You can watch the quick time. It doesn't matter. It's always going to show you the same thing. The guy nearly went through his ankle. That's what happened. It was studs up out there. That's what happened. Look at his ankle twist, man. But whilst Ricky's
second yellow was because it was literally, what was it, 2 minutes?
Yeah, within seconds. Yeah.
But if anything, I think if you're going to go flying into a tackle like that after you've already had a yellow card, which you will very lucky to only have a yellow for.
Yeah.
If you're going to go flying into a tackle straight away, then you deserve to be off.
Martinelli got, what was it, against Crystal Palace, wasn't it? Against Wolves, I think it was, that he got the first yellow and then he got a second yellow immediately afterwards. And do you know what? I even think it was Michael Oliver who gave him that yellow. But if you're going to get 2 yellows for that, and you're not going to get 2 yellows for a rash and reckless challenge, I don't know. Might as well just scrap the whole carding system as far as I'm concerned.
Hell, that is dirty.
Yeah, that's a dirty tackle. That's a dirty tackle. Like, that's a red card all over the place. There's not even.
That is fucking dirty.
That is nasty. Exactly. So,
possible red card, serious foul play. Yeah. I'm looking at it now. No, that is dirty. I can't be a hypocrite. That's proper dirty. It's like, especially like Lee said as well, come from behind, straight on the ankle.
I think
that's danger in the play. I understand he slid for 5 yards or 50 yards, whatever you want to say, with the studs showing, and he didn't jump into the challenge. But you can't do that.
No,
you can't.
That's not acceptable.
That's dirty. That's a red card. Like, he shouldn't have finished. I'm with you on that one. The Declan Rice one, it wasn't a second yellow, but the first one should have been a straight red, a very hemoglobin red.
But like the Adidas I've got on the back there, you know what I mean? But I think even for the thing is with the Declan Rice one, because he did almost the same tackle on Rice as he did on Odegaard. That's another reason you should yellow him, because, like, mate, did you not learn from the first one? You literally took the guy's ankles off and you went and tried to do it again. No, that's a second yellow. That is a second caution, unfortunately. But anyway, look, whatever, we won. It was 1-0. Martinelli made the difference. I can't say great performance. It just wasn't. It was a good performance defensively, and in that sort of in that Rice role, you know, they kept him and Jorginho really kept that midfield going, which I was very happy to see. But all in all, just ecstatic the fact that we beat City in the last 12 matches that we faced them in the Premier League. So I'm happy with that. I think 2015 was the last one. That you're definitely on mute now, though.
There we go. I clicked on the Skype app icon rather than clicking on the mic.
Lee's watching this live, by the way. Like, you know,
this is live. This is how we do it, Lee. This is how we do it, Paul. This is how we do it. And obviously, going off the joy on your face, we might have to make these into videos and send them out.
I think we do.
For all to enjoy. But
we need to have more guests.
I was going to say, was for me, I forgot what I was going to say now. You've clogged my mind.
Hit me with it. Rick.
What were you saying?
I was talking about Martinelli and the performance just not being an excellent, like a great performance, but defensively in midfield,
Martinelli came on. I don't know if you saw Martinelli, but he was the only player chasing back. I don't know if you saw that, but he was full pace chasing back. Okay, he had more energy and so on and so forth, but he's got that in his game. He plays for that. I wanted to touch on the thing of the Kovac 2 yellow cards, same as Martinelli's. The second one on Reece wasn't as malicious as Martinelli's when he pushed the player for the throw against Wolves. You know, when you made that comparison, and then after that he just came and hauled at him from behind just to take him down. That was intent to stop the play from going on, so that's why he got the yellow card. This one, I think they let Kova off simply because the intent was to try and get the ball rather than be malice or hurt the player or any malicious behind it. There was nothing. It was more of an intent to get the ball. But I was going to say something else, but honestly, it clogged my mind with unmuted Lee watching it live.
I was talking about Jorginho as well, like him and in that midfield role, he really obviously managed to keep everything together. I was a bit nervous.
He was shaking. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, every time a ball went next to him, I was hoping he loses it. Like, I thought he does standard Jorge stuff. But the biggest thing that scared me for you guys was your keeper, Raya. He was, I know you touched it earlier as well, but there was a couple of times when, I think, what was it? Alvarez closed him down once or twice. One time hit side net, and the second time Alvarez jumped in front of him.
That was minutes, by the way.
I was watching it, like I said to you, with an Arsenal friend of mine, and he was like, "Who do you want to win?" And he had his family there as well, and a little boy wearing the Arsenal kit. His son is an Arsenal fan. He was like, his boy came up to me and he was like, "Who do you want to win?" And I was like, I want Arsenal to win. I was like, I can't break this kid's heart. I was like, I want Arsenal to win.
Nasty bastard. You lied to a kid, to his face.
He doesn't know that. He don't know that. He's 5. He won't even remember it. Did he even remember their 5th birthday?
No, I don't know. I don't have kids.
But no, joking aside, it was like, I think we all agreed on it, weren't it? Like, the game got hyped and it just didn't live up to the hype.
It worked out. It worked out in our favour as an Arsenal fan, in the Arsenal community. It worked out in our favour, really. It got that hyped up. And I think... Well, I mean, you're not an Arsenal fan. Lee's not an Arsenal fan, so I'm talking about my community over there, somewhere in the corner, like where you over there, where you can't see it. Because over here you can see it, but over there,
like with over there. Your ESR
over there. But yeah, ESR, yeah. But look, I don't want to. I've got nothing else to add on the Arsenal match. Again, just really happy that we got that result. It had to happen somehow, and fair enough. It happened like this. I can't complain. We got the job done. We didn't get any red cards. No players, sort of got injured, and it was good. We did it without Saka as well, which There you go. It's something that I didn't think we could possibly do, but it's been done. So, Rick, do you have anything to add over the weekend?
Nothing to add on the weekend. Obviously, just to recap, happy with my team winning. Hoping the referee decisions do get better though, because again, watching that Kovacic one back is like, yeah, that should have been a red card. That really should have been a red card.
Definitely. Lee, any matches of the weekend for you? Any matches that stood out to you that you sort of you're like, all right, you know what, that turned out all right? That.
Not really. I didn't see a massive amount of them yesterday, to be fair. Obviously, I've seen all the score lines at the end of the day. Both of them Brentford were beating United.
Yeah.
Around.
We've got to touch on that before we go, by the way. Why
are you going to start that conversation?
What is Onana doing?
I don't know. I think honestly,
don't know what he's doing. Like, how's that ball got under his hand?
Yeah, shocker.
As a Man United fan, I'm not long may continue, by the way, this goes without saying, but how? Like, let's be realistic. How have you let go of De Gea, who's a shot stopper, to bring on this guy who apparently is good with his feet and he makes mistakes with his feet, but he's not very good at shot stopping neither. So, like, I know players are like, the defense and they've got so many injuries. Listen, the injuries don't help the goalkeeper from making mistakes. Like, doesn't matter who's in front of him. Could have been Cannavaro, could have been Maldini, could have been whoever. He'll still, if he's got a mistake in him, he'll have a mistake in him. So,
well, dear listener, luckily for you, we actually do have Erik ten Hag in live from Manchester today. So I think we should go directly to him. And Eric, team, what do you think? What are we thinking with the team? By the way, like what's with Onana? What is with Onana? By the way, like
video, that was quality. Look at him as well. He actually looked like Eric.
Terrible. Come on here and get no but grief.
No, that's why you're here. This is why this was going to happen to all the guests. This is a warning to all the guests that this is what's going to happen. But obviously, I mean, United, as you know, we talk shit about them all the time, and they deserve it really because they've just been probably one of the poorest performing teams in the top 6 or top 10, if you will. They've just been really, really poor. But yeah, I think I don't know where they're going to end up. To be honest with you, the match Brentford, they almost stole that, and then McTominay comes on, which is like, what? When did McTominay turn into Zidane all of a sudden? So we do actually have Zidane in the studio as well. All right, that's it. I'm out. I'm done.
Stop it.
I'm done.
Wash your mouth out, sir.
I'm done. But so I think with Ten Hag, we every week it's the same thing with Ten Hag, and nothing has changed. Like absolutely nothing changes with that guy. He put McTominay on, but that doesn't mean that your team perform well. Next week you actually have to go out and perform well, and not just rely on one player to come in and save the team, which he probably won't do again because he's going to start and he's going to be shit, and they're going to take him off again. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking forward to the day, and I cannot wait for the day for Ten Hag to be sacked because I just don't rate him as a manager.
I don't rate him. I
really don't.
He's really loyal to the players that he's brought in. I don't know if you've noticed. So Martinez would play a majority of the games. Anthony would play a majority of the games. And you think to yourself, neither of these guys are offering. Okay, Martinez was probably better out of the possible defenders he could have, like a Lindelof and so on and so on. Yeah, exactly. Lindelof, Maguire, etc. But Anthony, why is Anthony getting more game time? What is happening? But he's so loyal to those players because he got praised the way he handled Cristiano Ronaldo and so on. Everything Ronaldo said was the truth.
Yeah, he was. Then he didn't lie, and because of Ten Hag pushing Ronaldo out, that's why the whole Saudi thing happened. Do you know what I mean? All the Saudi, everyone moving to Saudi Arabia. It's because of Ten Hag. So thank you, Eric, once again, for your help, you bellend.
No, Lee, I know they're your biggest rivals. Like obviously, historically, Liverpool and Man U, the huge rivalry between you two. But what are your thoughts on what's going on over there? Let us hear them.
Without gloating, by the way. Without gloating.
Yeah, without gloating. Yeah, definitely.
No, I don't know if they'll get rid of him. I think he'll be there all season, Ten Hag, just because of how much he was hyped up when they brought him in about being the next big thing, really. The players, I don't know. The players don't really look like like the olden day United where the fight for the badge, and you don't really have that.
Well, they're all new, aren't they, really? They're all new and young. They all seem to be like... Because let's face it, in the last 20 years, United haven't been the powerhouse that we know them to be. Like, obviously, we're a little bit older than the average 20-year-old without giving our age away. But if you look at us, you'll probably guess a lot. We're in the north of 30s. We're ascending upwards.
Yes, there's only one way, man, and it's going up every single number.
You're like, for me, like, I just don't feel like the guys who have turned up, the Anthonys and stuff, they're talking about Manchester United being a big club, and marketing-wise, value, the biggest in the world. Or one of the biggest in the world, but still, it's just like these players don't seem to want to do anything. So, what would you change then? If you are Eric, without taking the piss on anything, what would you change? Like, what would you, if you're a United fan? I know you probably say I wouldn't change anything, long may it continue. But realistically speaking, what would you change?
Not be a United fan. That's probably what you would change.
I think he was the best player last season, but I think Casemiro needs dropping. I think his legs are going. He was at fault for the goal yesterday. I know what the penalty he gave away midweek, that wasn't his fault. He had to do that. But all season he's been terrible. He looks a liability in there for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think his lack of discipline is really affecting Man United, to be fair, because they can't build a stable midfield without him or with him. Do you know what I mean? They can't find the right balance. Yeah. But I think so. I mean, what this sort of shows really is the fact that, you know, Man United, ever since Fergie left, it hasn't been a manager's fault, because let's face it, they had David Moyes in there. David Moyes is not a bad manager. At the beginning, everyone was like, David Moyes taking over Man United and all this. But look at all the managers that have come and gone. Look at all the managers that have come and gone. What have they really done with United? They've brought in players, then the managers left. Then players are still there on long contracts. So another manager has to be like, oh, well, I have to get rid of you. And they say, well, how could you get rid of? Do you know what I mean? So it's like a snowball effect that they've really created themselves. There's no other way to describe what Man United have done. But it's like, you know, it's sort of, they went, we are the best. So it doesn't really matter. We'll bring in who we want. We're still going to succeed. But guess what? Nah, that's not how football works. So and it's clearly shown that up until now, Man United have not been impressive as a squad, as a club. There's so much shit going on there.
They're failing to attract top quality players as well, though, aren't they? Like, before, you'd think Man United came in for you, you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to United. But now there seems to be options. Now the blue side of Manchester seems to attract better players. Okay, financially, and Guardiola and the football that they're offering in Champions League. But Man United has just seemed to fail to attract players. I think Mason Mount, if Man United weren't coming in for him, he would have nowhere else to go. I know Liverpool came in, but Liverpool didn't offer the wages that they did. And the only way they seem to kind of bring players in, going back to what you just said, was offer him a high salary to get them to come to United over Liverpool or over Arsenal or something else. And then the manager gets sacked, and then Maguire's sat on 220 grand a week. And when West Ham come in for him, they're like, oh, we'll give you 80 or 100. He's like, no, it's okay. I want to sit here and fight for my place. We all know what it means. You want to sit there and collect your salary because you're towards the later stages of your career. And I don't blame you.
You can't blame that.
The people making the decision at the club. You know, like the director or whatever his name was, Ed Woodward or whatever. I think it was him who was a director.
It was him, wasn't it? Yeah, it was him. Yeah.
But even when we talked about VAR, we talked about Fergie. If VAR was available during the Fergie era, they would not be half as successful as they were, because those challenges that Man United players did, the influence they had, those freeze frame of Roy Keane challenges would have been red carded every
We're not going to go down the history of why Man United would have failed.
But we're just saying.
But,
I'm just saying.
You're right, though. You're right. I think they got lucky in the end, and that's what it was. Same as well, I was going to say same as Tottenham, but they just
Tottenham, Liverpool against Newcastle. No disrespect to our guest, our esteemed guest here, but nothing lucky about it. No. But yeah. So look, in terms of the weekend, it was for me as an Arsenal fan. Obviously, started off a bit bad because, you know, it looked like Liverpool were going to win. Man United actually won. Chelsea actually won. Tottenham obviously ended up winning, which is like, oh my god! And then I can't believe they're top.
I can't believe the top, but again, it's not because they are a good team. They faced a team like Arsenal, for example. It was a draw because they were not good, and the goals that they scored, we gifted them. 2 goals, we gifted them because there was no one defending. And Son, he's not going to miss those. He's lethal. So I think I don't. Again, like I said at the beginning, short of me saying mark my words, I really don't think Tottenham are going to do that well this season. Maybe a top 4.
So what do you think then? What are you predicting for Spurs for this season? Trophyless again, and then top 4 or not top 4?
I could see them probably, you know, snatching a EFL Cup because, you know, why not?
They're out of it. Unless they win the FA Cup.
They ain't winning shit then. They ain't winning nothing then. That's the only thing that we're going to win.
Part of me was going to let you finish, but I thought I can't do that to my boy. I can't do that to him. They got knocked down by League 2 or League 1.
I love Tottenham. That's why I don't care about them, apparently.
So why the finisher then? Trophyless again?
Yeah, they're definitely going to go trophyless, and I'd say best that they can probably hope for is like a fourth, maybe a fifth. I can't see them in the top four. I think they're going to drop in quality.
Yeah, fourth.
Say fourth. Yeah,
I reckon so. Yeah.
So who's missing out of the so-called top seven? Who do you think is missing out? Obviously, Chelsea. Man United and Chelsea, but then who's the other one missing out?
I'll put Chelsea first. Chelsea, Man United. And then, it'd be easy just to name a top four. I think top four is probably going to be Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Tottenham, and then Chelsea.
So when you say Arsenal, City, do you mean Arsenal all the way to like March and then finish second?
April, actually.
Oh, is it April this time? You're going to go as far as April?
That's when our players get injured, so that's what happens. But I think, do you know what, Rick? We'll come back. We'll come back during.
You what, Lee? Sorry.
I think the top four at the end of the season will be the top four that we have now, but in reverse.
Wow. All right. Go on. Hit me with that list, Lee. Hit us with that list.
Liverpool's fourth, so Liverpool first, City, right?
Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Tottenham.
Nice. I love what you.
I love that. And this support for the team is infectious and it's contagious, and I genuinely think we will make top four.
Wait, are you pretend to be a Liverpool fan right now? Or
no, I'm telling you that the Chelsea Blue, the West London team, will make Champions League football this season.
Wow.
What did you say about Spurs? Mark my words.
Well, I said short of me saying that, so I didn't actually.
I've got a funny feeling with Basuma being injured very quickly since we're on the top four. I've got a feeling Spurs might really struggle. Not injured, sorry, suspended. They're not going to do very good on the next couple of games because he was really the main guy for them. I felt personally as well. I know we had chat earlier.
Has played 8 matches and he's got 5 yellow cards, Rick. Like that guy is not his position. Good player.
That's him trying to get like challenges and so on. And sometimes it depends what he got the yellow card for, rather than judging. Like there was times I was chatting with my friend today about the game. If your team is on the counter attack, if you're receiving what's the word I'm looking for? The opponent is on a counter attack. You have to take him out in the mid center of the park before you concede a goal. You literally have to make it look like you're playing the ball, but your main aim is to stop that guy from going on. If you win the ball, great. If not, take the player out, take the yellow card, and then you do that for your team. And you have to do that.
If you're doing that every other game and you're getting suspended, I just don't think how that's.
But he got suspended for the dive. That was his stupid thing. Was he got a second yellow at Luton for trying to dive, which was unnecessary. But it'll be interesting to see how he does, how Spurs do next, and if there's an injury to Son, then what's going to happen? Who's scoring the goals for Spurs? So I've got a feeling they will miss out. I think they will have the season quite high up, and then they'll be quite Spursy come March, April, especially with their squad depth. They don't really have a huge squad, and if they go far in FA Cup and then FA Cup games and midweek games and so on and so forth, and this is when I'm hoping and thinking, obviously as a Chelsea fan, slightly biased, but our players coming back, we hit a bit of momentum, and I've got a feeling we will finish fourth, probably just scraped by the skin of our teeth, but we'll hit fourth.
Hey, look, I love the
both shake your head at it, lads. Watch it happen.
I love it all.
This is not pretending to love Kai Havertz and Mason Mount either, by the way. And then when they get scored, they're like, oof, we don't have to pretend anymore.
Pretend? I don't pretend to like Kai Havertz. I don't. So
now Kai Havertz got immortality at Chelsea when he won the Champions League, and since then it's like Kai Havertz. But now that he's at you guys, yeah, he's doing really well. Long may it continue.
Yeah, it's all right. Right, look, we've gone way over than what we usually do, but because we have a guest, and we
had setting up issues.
And that as well, yeah. So we're actually a lot later than usual, but we will be back during halfway through the season to obviously to chat about who's going to finish the season from that point onwards, and we'll be back with some predictions as well for the international break. Get some matches on. We can come up on the next podcast, which will be Friday
we can do
morning.
one. We can do we'll shut that up together, get together and do some international. I think we'll have to do a Wednesday evening because the games is happening on Thursday for the qualifier.
There you go.
We'll do it on Wednesday evening. We'll record. You guys will have it by Thursday, so you can listen to it for all that good stuff. Driving to work, riding, whenever you listen to it, we appreciate the love. So yeah, but you should have it ready by Thursday morning.
Brilliant, Rick. Do you want to? Okay, well, before actually you do take us out, Lee, just want to say a massive thank you for being here, mate. Hope you enjoyed it. We will have you back. We will have you back midway through the season, and hopefully you start 10th or something. whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. We love our guests, by the way. We love our guests.
We do love our guests. No, exactly. That goes. Thank you for coming, Lee. We appreciate making the time. Thanks for joining us. And with that said, thank you everyone for listening. We appreciate your ear holes. We wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay alert, and we'll catch you on the next one.